Hello, my name is Aaron Cavanagh and I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of Post-Burnout.com. Post-Burnout.com is a culture website dedicated to venerating burnt-out artists the world over. This is our website's podcast where we publish full-length recordings of our interviews, which are sometimes the unedited versions of our site's articles and at other times are exclusives. If you're a returning listener, thank you for coming back, and if this is your first time listening, thank you for checking us out. We hope you enjoy and consider subscribing, giving the episodes a thumbs up if you're on YouTube, or giving it a rating if you're anywhere else. It really helps us out. Thank you. Alright, in this edition of PostBurnout.com interviews, Pierre and Nathan of the Belgian post-rock band Endless Dive discuss their latest album, Souvenances, the exploration of nostalgia on the record, their 10th anniversary, working as a two-piece for the first time in the band's history after a recent lineup change, the Belgian music scene, switching to their native French for this record compared to their English-spoken discography, and much more.
Hello.
Pierre, how's it going?
Yeah, are you good?
I'm well, man. Is it just gonna be us?
Yeah, no, there is Nathan, the drummer, is coming.
Perfect.
It's probably a bit late, but he will be there.
No, that's okay. Could I ask, are you based in Brussels or Tournai? Tournai, sorry.
Me, I'm based in Brussels, but both of us, we are coming from a small town called Tournai. I don't know if you ever
Tournai,
heard
yes.
about it.
I was looking it up because I've been to Belgium a couple of years ago, and
Okay.
but I've never been. I was in the Flemish region,
Yeah,
so.
okay. Everyone goes to the Flemish part. But yeah, it's a small town near the French border.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, but I live in Brussels for since like 6 years ago, but the drummer still lives around our hometown.
Okay, cool. Here's Nathan now. Yeah, no, I have a friend from Arlon,
Ah,
so
yeah,
yeah.
it's the opposite for us in Belgium.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Nathan.
Nathan is.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Nathan. Yeah, I'll try not to think of too much of your time. I was going to ask. Well, I guess there's a lot to begin with. So, the first thing I was going to ask was obviously your new record that's coming out on February 25th is it's kind of reflecting on nostalgia, and nostalgia plays a huge theme throughout the record. I was wondering, like, now that the band will be 10 years old next year. Um, did that kind of like influence it in any way? Did the kind of length of the band, how long this band has been going, in any way kind of make you reflective of the past?
Can you repeat, but a bit slower, please?
Sorry,
Because
no
I
worries.
didn't understand everything.
So I was saying, so because the band will be 10 years old
Yeah.
in the new year, did that make you nostalgic or reflective, or is that just coincidental?
Yeah, it's a bit nostalgic because yeah, it's 10 years ago. Sometimes I see some old pictures of us during live shows, and I'm like, wow, it's already been 10 years,
Yeah.
well, 8 years or 9 years, 9 years. We can see like our face change a lot or something, and it's funny. And yeah, it's kind of nostalgic because like maybe you've heard about it. The two members left the band last year, so it's always nostalgic because it is still now a true friendship. So it's good memories to remember.
When it came to kind of doing the project now, it's just two people. What was it about, kind of like, because when you have two members kind of leave the band like that, what was it about the project that kind of made you want to go, no, we should stick with this, we should keep doing it?
Attends, did you?
Okay.
Um,
So I was saying, like,
considering,
when there
uh,
was like a shakeup in members like that, what was it about Endless Dive that kind of made you say this is something we should continue?
en gros, il demande si qu'est-ce qui fait que après le départ des deux membres, on a voulu continuer quand même malgré tout.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I don't speak English very well, but
That's
I will.
fine. Yeah, I don't speak any French, so you speak
Uh,
better English than I speak French.
like you say, it's since 10 years now we have this project, and so it's mean a lot for us. And with Pierre, we want to continue because it's very important for us, and we have a lot of different ideas, I think, in our head, And so, yeah, we never imagined stop completely the band because we have a lot of things to say without speaking. But yeah, I think maybe for this reason.
Do you think actually doing music instrumentally is a bit more universal in the sense that language is a barrier, but if it's just music, kind of anyone can relate to that?
Yeah, maybe it's a interesting question because yeah, in Belgium, so in our part of Belgium, either you sing in English or either you sing in French. So there's not a lot of artists who sing in French who goes international. There are some, but maybe not all. So it's more difficult to cross like the French speakers border. I can say, but yeah, I think yeah, we can see in our like in the Spotify stats that our music is kind of split around the world. We don't have like a big base in Belgium or in France, but more like split over the world. It's funny, like the most listeners we have is in United States, and then we are like if we check like the cities, I think like there is Ankara in the top 5 or places we would never expect to be listened to. So yeah, that's funny. I think yeah, instrumental music there is no border because yeah, everyone can listen to it, and I hope understand the music, or maybe if they don't understand it, they make like their own story about the music. So yeah, I think there is no limit about the understanding the music.
Yeah, no, I totally rate that because I don't speak French. And when I was listening to your record, I mean, the kind of sounds like of kind of playgrounds and the sounds of like, to me, it was invoking memories of being in school and being a small child. And even though, like, I could understand enough to kind of realize that in the opening track that there's, kids counting, counting down stuff. And it was kind of relatable because like I think everyone's kind of had that experience of being in school, being a child, being on the playground, and one thing I really like about your record is that it kind of, I think when people think of their childhoods, they think of random places in their mind, like I was here, and and it's just kind of relating to these sort of very vague memories you have from when you were a kid. They're not complete memories. They're just kind of like memories of places, and it's very washy, and I think that kind of came true, and I think that's a very international experience.
Yeah, thank you. Ouais, Nathan, je sais pas si tu veux parler.
Non, vas-y, vas-y.
Ouais, it's good because that's what we want people to understand. So that's good, even across the language. And yeah, it's funny because I don't know if you saw it, but we made a clip like 2 weeks ago, and it
Yes,
was
I did.
about like 500 pictures going very quickly.
Yeah.
And I decided to make like very quickly because I want to be like a quick memory because you don't really remember it well. But one thing I realized and my roommate realized too, it was like a lot of children have memories in common. Like I received a lot of pictures at the sea or I don't know for a birthday and stuff, and it's funny to see how maybe people of maybe I don't know from or same culture, maybe I don't know, but it's common, and we shared a lot of memories as well, and that's why I'm happy to hear you like when you say, okay, I don't speak French, but I understand it's a canteen from children's or stuff, and it's cool because across the language, people can get connected to that memory.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted too, I think.
Actually, the thing about like childhood is that even though you're a native speaker, you don't necessarily. This is something as someone who doesn't speak the language, but like even like there's parts where like you hear adults speaking, and although I couldn't understand what they were saying, and that's kind of what being a child is sort of like. You hear adults talking, and you don't really have context for their conversations.
Yeah, it's good. It's interesting. I never thought about this.
Yeah. Is that something you guys think about as a lot of your obviously your band name and a lot of the song titles up until now have been in English, but this one is like this album is like completely in French. All the album titles are in French. It was being internationally accessible something that you guys were thinking of when you were doing this project initially?
Nathan, tu veux...
Oh, je suis désolé, je comprends pas.
Alors du coup, là, il demande, vu que les anciens morceaux étaient en anglais et que là, en fait, on fait les morceaux en français, pourquoi? Et ouais, voilà.
Um, well, I think it was because the all our souvenir is in French, so
Yes.
it will be weird if we write the name of the song in English because it's not remember our childhood. So we try in French. It wasn't easy at all because it was the first time, and when we need to find some names, it's very complicated for us. And in French, it's more complicated because every word in French is a little bit, je sais pas comment on peut dire.
Ouais. I don't know if you have the same in English, but for us, French speaker, like English is so cool. Like when you have like an English title in for a movie or for a song, it's always it sounds cooler than if you have the same name in French. And so, as Nathan said, like when it even in English, it was difficult for us to put a title on a song because we don't have words, and it can easily sound a bit cliche. And this feeling is even worse for French, I think. And so sometimes we have a word and we're like, yeah, it's a bit. In French, we say gnangnan. I don't know if you say in English,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I heard that because of my friend from Belgium, actually, yes.
okay, yeah.
But I don't think there's a direct translation in English.
So yeah, it was difficult. But I remember once I asked Nathan like why we should put some tracks in English because it's easier, but he told no, and I think it was a good reason because yeah, I think it's more authentic. Authentic. I
Mhm.
don't know how to
Yeah,
pronounce.
authentic, yes, yes.
Uh, to have French words title because it's our memories.
Yeah, and obviously, the title. I apologize in advance for my French here. Uh, Souvenance, is that
Yeah,
correct?
almost perfect. Yeah, I've just
Almost perfect.
yeah, I just have like it's a common mistake when you have a n, you
Mhm.
don't pronounce the n, so it's souvenance
Souvenance.
and not souvenance.
Okay,
But it's
so
difficult.
yeah, because it means memory in that's the translation, but obviously over here we have in English we have the word souvenir, which is a memory of something. So it's a similar. I understood it, you know, and obviously I mean like the record as the kind of press release for the record is as stated. I mean there was like an invocation of like kind of VHS tapes and sort of old analog media in the soundscape of the project of this record. Um yeah, I was wondering like well if you don't mind me asking like how old you are and generally because like I think that's kind of a big part of it because I have a lot of memories of like you know old media that's now obsolete.
Well,
So
I'm 30.
so am I. Yeah,
Yeah. And Nathan is 33.
33.
perfect. So I mean, do you think is it trying to kind of capture that childhood that's kind of like lost now because everyone is digital. All kids now are raised on digital media, which I'm not saying as a criticism. I mean, media and technology changes with time, and some things just aren't relevant anymore. Was that part of it? Like trying to, I guess, keep the memory of those obsolete medias alive too, or just the kind of feelings that you'd get from you know, watching a VHS tape or something like that.
Well, for me, like I kind of forgot like VHS tape and stuff. Like from analog point of view, like I always been attached to like analog photography for a few years ago, Nathan too. But for me, like the video, I forgot about it, and it was last year, like for my 30th birthday. With my family, we watched some videotapes from me when I was a child, and I was like, wow, this is a. It was really emotional, and I think, okay, it's good. I wanted to see more, and then we found another with another tapes with Nathan, and Nathan had a lot of tapes. So we numerized everything, and yeah, it was a. Well, I don't know if it's fading, like disappearing, because I don't know if in 20 years, like parents would still have like videos on their phones that they would have put on a, I don't know, on a hard drive. Maybe it would be lost for a lot of people. I don't know. But it made me realize like it's really important to have some memories captured, because maybe when I was like 15, 20, you don't really care about it. But when you're older, just to see, I don't know, your family, your parents, when they were your age now, it's something like, I don't know, you realize like, okay, they were like me before. I don't know. So there is a lot of meaning behind those memories.
Yeah, and like as you mentioned there, like when people used to take photographs on film and get them developed and in a chemist and then bring it back, you would always have those in like an envelope just full of photographs, which as you mentioned, years later you can look back on and you actually have a physical, because the same my parents, like they have like photographs from their entire life, where I think now with the digital era we don't know what the preservation of those memories is going to be like in 20
Uh,
years or 30 years. Do you think about things like that, about like because like obviously you were mentioning like the music video for Petit Bon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm probably not. um
I get it.
little bat, which I actually did. I didn't have to look that up. I knew what that meant offhand. So I was very proud of myself. I was like, yeah, I don't speak.
Perfect.
I study Spanish in school, so that's
Okay, yeah, it helps.
so, I'm sorry. But with that music video, there's tons of photos, because it's for the entire song, a photograph is only kind of on screen for a couple of seconds, so there's a lot of photographs throughout the runtime of the music video, and obviously that's something that you have to kind of collect and preserve. Um, was there any actual photos related to this question? Were there any photos that you'd never seen before when you were kind of collecting them all to make for the video?
I don't understood the last question. Like,
So when you were looking at the photographs that you were going to put into the music video, was there any that you hadn't seen before you were going to do this project?
for me, like, yeah, a lot about. I forget a lot of pictures before working on this video. So yeah, it was the same, like collecting the VHS. Like I went to my mom's place, and then oh, sorry, my Facebook is turned on. Yeah, and then so I asked like, can I see the photo book for everywhere?
Photo album, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot I forgot about it. Like even I have three older sisters, so I saw some memories from them when I wasn't even born. So it's funny. So for me, yes, I don't know, Nathan. Je sais pas si t'as compris la question.
Si on se souvenait de toutes les photos ou quoi qu'on
Ouais.
avait.
Si t'en avais découverte.
Um, I think 2 months ago we watched the book with my girlfriend and my parents, so I remember some photos, but yeah, you forgot a lot, and sometimes I just watched the good memories with my brothers, and was very weird because it wasn't my friend during our adolescence, but it's the good name. But it's very funny when you saw the difference of the feelings with the family now and in the past. It was more this kind of thing for me. It's weird, not the things you forgot, but the change between
Yes.
this time and now. Sorry, it was complicated to explain.
No, I understood exactly what you said. And the other thing I really love is the album cover. So that's you on the cover, is it, Pierre?
Nathan.
It's
Yeah,
Nathan, is it? I apologize.
Nathan on the cover.
With the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles face
yeah,
Yeah.
paint.
totally. Yeah,
How,
totally.
how did you decide which photo to use for the album cover?
What? How
How
did
did you decide which photo to use for the album cover?
that was complicated? We yeah, I don't know. Pictures is really like subjective. Like it's really it's one picture. It talks to you or it doesn't talk to you. I guess.
Yes.
And we tried to several things to the cover. We tried with a photographer to capture a moment, but I think we decided and in the end with this one because they're
Yeah,
it's hard to explain.
no?
What?
It was more personal than the new photographs. Uh, I think no.
Yeah, maybe it's more authentic to have like one of us when we were child, and I don't know. There is something we felt something special in the eye, in the yeah. We liked it.
Yeah, it's a great expression on the face too. It's like it
Yeah,
really invokes that sense of like childhood kind of fun, I guess, you know.
and there is something like when you're a child and you have a cosplay
Yeah, costume, yeah.
costume, like you feel like a real hero, like nothing can stop you. I think there's something in this picture. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, if I'm correct, Halloween isn't very popular in Belgium, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For my childhood, yeah, we walk in the village
Mm-hmm.
during the nights, and you have a castle in the city, and you can walk around the castle with some mince, comment on dit encore fantôme? Oui.
Ghost.
Ghosts,
Ouais.
some ghosts and different activities, and a bridge with rabbit foot. I don't know. Yeah,
Uh, um,
foot rabbit. I don't know. Do you
oh,
say?
rabbits, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was very creepy, and yeah, it was very famous in my village to do this party.
And Nathan, before you joined, we were kind of talking about you're from like a small town in Belgium, and obviously, Pierre, you're now living in Brussels, which is like the capital city. So I was wondering, how do you think geography affects your art or your output? I mean, when you're looking at I don't know, being in a big city compared to a smaller place.
Si j'ai bien compris, est-ce que c'est un problème pour nous? Sorry, I just
Non, plutôt, est-ce que l'endroit dans lequel tu te situes peut t'inspirer musicalement, que tu sois à la campagne ou dans une grande ville?
Mm, yeah, I think because I very like the quiet of my village.
Yep.
I don't very love live in the city because it's more too much energy for me. I have a lot of energy, and so with the energy of the city, it's not working. So I like walk alone or with my girlfriend in the nature and have a lot of quiet around me. So I think this silence and, enfin, je sais pas comment on dit, le calme autour de, enfin,
Quiet.
quiet,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
around me very inspired me.
And
For
for
me,
yourself here?
yeah, for me, so I experienced both. Now I live in Brussels, but I think for music, I prefer to being in the campaign,
Company?
like not the city, the opposite. I forgot the name.
Town, village,
Town,
or
village, yeah,
yeah.
because I remember when I was like a student, I lived with my parents, and I was bored a lot of times. So when I was bored, I was making music. And
Yeah.
when you're in town, you are less bored because you can go out with your friends, you can go. So there is some positive and negative aspect because I'm less bored in town. I spend less time to make music, but the time when I make music is more precious, so I appreciate a bit more, so it's different. But yeah, usually when we have to write something, sometimes we prefer to go 1 week in a village or something to work well. But yeah, there is some other aspect that are positive. Here in Brussels, I can see a lot of concert, which was more difficult when I was in a village because you have more roads. So yeah, I think they are both good and bad in some points.
Yeah, ennui is one French word I know. Ennui.
Oui.
Yeah, so I know that one. What I was gonna say is like, well, obviously, I mean, Belgium's a fairly small country, so I mean, when acts were touring, they might do one date in Brussels, or they might do like one date in Antwerp or wherever. It's just like it's the same here. Like bands come to Ireland, they do like one date in Dublin. So
Yeah.
traveling for concerts is something that 'cause if an act is touring Germany, for example, they tour around and they go to many different cities where I think like sometimes in smaller places we just get like one day if we even get anything,
Yeah.
So I definitely relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah, people
um,
come to Brussels and that's it. Sometimes they don't even go through Belgium.
yeah. Do you find it easy to tour? Because Belgium itself is like you guys have a really great network, like a rail network. Do you find it easy to tour around the country when you guys are on the road? How do you tour? Because I know you go around Belgium and France. I don't know if you tour elsewhere in Europe. But do you find it easy to tour around?
Well, we toured mostly in Belgium and France, but maybe more in France than Belgium.
Yeah, right.
Well, Belgium is divided in two parts, like the Flemish and the Wallon parts, and it's quite hard to both get across the border. Unfortunately, we don't really know why, but for a Wallon band, it's hard to go to Flanders, and the opposite is true as well. But yeah, I think it depends on your kind of music. Maybe for us it's more rock, and the scene in Belgium is not really rock. Maybe in Brussels, yes, but I think we felt like it's more consistent in France for rock music. We went through Spain and Portugal as well, and we have like good reception. So yeah, I think it depends on your kind of music and the place. But I think Belgium is kind of. I think Brussels is a really good place for music because there is a big scene. Maybe less more in Wallonia. I don't know. Flemish, I won't speak about it because I don't really know it. But from my point of view, it seems like really active as well in Ghent, Antwerp. There is a lot of really good music. Well, but that's my humble opinion.
I can't contribute. um, but touring around because, like we were saying, with your music, it's so accessible. Would you like to tour around Europe more, go outside of sort of French-speaking regions, and you were mentioning Spain and Portugal, obviously, but I mean, would you like to go to, I don't know, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, so on?
Nathan, je sais pas si t'as compris la question.
Si on voulait tourner ailleurs,
Ouais, c'est ça, ouais.
yeah, we would like to tour more in every country if it was possible, but it's not easy to find some show, sadly. But yeah, I hope one day in England, or my dream is Japan, but it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I don't know another country. Maybe Islande, je sais plus comment dire. Islande.
Iceland?
Iceland.
Iceland?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
very difficult to get
very
to
like
Iceland, I
this
know.
country too. I know it from a festival at this country, so maybe one day, but we hope.
Thanks very much, guys. I'll try not to take up too much time. I just had one final question, which was now as you're mentioning, you're working as a two-piece. How's that dynamic kind of altered how you perform live?
Well, so we're gonna perform live with two other musicians,
Okay.
but you know, before when we was a 4-piece band, it was kind of easy because we were writing the songs together. So once the song is finished, we already can play it. Like there is no work after that. Here is a bit different because we mainly compose it on a computer, and then we have to play it. So for me, for example, for me it's easy because I wrote the guitar part. So once the album was done, I already knew how to play the guitar parts. But for Nathan, it's different because he wrote his drum on the computer, and now he
Yeah,
has to.
it was it's complicated because when you create on computer, you can do everything. But I didn't think about play this part in real. No, I just broke my mind to learn and adapter. Je sais pas comment on dit ça.
To adapt. Yeah.
Adapt the parts, the computer parts in the real part. So for me, it's two job, you know, create and learn my own part.
But something I didn't anticipate is like when you play in a band, you have some limits. Like you can't play like 3 guitars in the same time.
Yeah.
And before we were always attached to the fact that when we record an album, we want it to be the closest as possible to the music we play. So we wanted, like, when you hear a record, you want to hear the exact same things in live. Here was a different approach because of the computer. Like, okay, let's go to make some texture around it, like this. And there is like 2 or 3 songs we were like, shit, there is 3 guitars. How can we do it? But we found some solutions to do it. But yeah, that was an experience.
Do you use loop pedals?
Yeah, but we already did it before, but it was, as I said before, it was adapted to the live context because here sometimes we were like, okay, this loop is kind of tricky.
Yeah.
We will find a solution.
And actually, one more thing I just thought of. So when it comes to actually writing songs for this band, do you meet up and make sure that you're in the same room together, or do you do things remotely? Can you send parts, through email or whatever, or even something like this on Zoom call or
Yeah, now as we live like 1 hour away from each other, it's like, yeah, we mainly write in our own place, and then when we have something like quite solid, we met together and then we adjust some stuff. But yeah, personally, I like to be alone when I write it. Even in my place when my roommate is not there, I am more like, I don't know, like nobody's watching me, nobody's listening to me, and I can be 100%. And I think for me, I like to be alone in my place, and then I record the guitar and stuff. Then I send it to Nathan. Nathan make drums, and then so it's a lot of like we have like hundreds of WeTransfer link in conversation, I think. But yeah, it works for us, but for some people it doesn't work like this, and yeah, for us it's good, I think.
Thanks very much for your time, guys. The fun thing I'll say is, obviously the album's coming out February 25th, if I'm correct. I want to make sure I got that right.
I think yes.
February 25th, the album is out. And beyond that, what are your plans for 2025?
There is a new single for and a new video that Nathan directed. What else? We have like a concert in a Botanic in Brussels, which is one of the like more iconic places in Brussels in Belgium. So we're so happy to play there. We are working on some tours, some gigs around France and some other countries, but nothing really finished now.
Yeah.
But yes, and we are working a lot on the live now, and that's our main focus now.
Perfect. Thanks very much for your time, guys. I really enjoyed talking with you. Merci
we do.
beaucoup.
Thank you. We enjoy as well.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Toujours bizarre comment ça se termine.
Thank you for listening to that episode of Post-Burnout.com interviews. We're an independent venture run by yours truly, and as I said at the beginning, liking, rating, subscribing and sharing really helps us out a lot. If you're feeling extra generous, we do have a PayPal donation link in the episode description, but don't feel obligated, of course. We've also begun releasing occasional exclusive episodes on Spotify, so subscribe there if you'd be interested in hearing those. Thanks again for listening, and see you next time.